I want to know what it's like when you suddenly discover that you are a New Yorker cartoonist. Is there a choir of angels? Like what happens there?
What happens is you're in a publication that your parents have heard of, and they now realize that maybe you do a thing. So that's nice. It's nice to be validated by your parents.
So it's hard as a cartoonist to convince the people who love you that you do a thing.
My parents somehow thought that my husband was like supporting me somehow. They're like, well, what do you do for money? I'm like, what do you think I do for money?
So you doodle.
Yeah, I doodle. I scribble silly little drawings and, paint with my toes.
Is it hard to cobble together a living? I mean, I don't mean to act like your dad here, but like to answer their question.
Oh boy, going back to the eggnog.
Am I dressed that badly?
No, you look great.
Thank you, thank you. It's like anything else. It's a hustle, It's freelancing. You try to pull from as many income streams as you possibly can. And keep your fingers crossed.
You're obviously very good at it. Where do you get your ideas?
I steal ruthlessly from my funnier friends. You just kind of try to keep your eyes and ears open and wait for something funny to happen in your life. And if nothing funny happens, sometimes you have to make something funny happen.
Oh, I think we should just point out we were just looking at a cartoon of Godzilla and King Kong.
Yes.
Discussing what? Sorry. So where did that come from? They're discussing why you have to leave Manhattan because it's over.
Yeah. So King Kong is telling Godzilla that Brooklyn is where it's at and Manhattan is over. This was a big favorite of Marty Markowitz, borough president, former borough president of Brooklyn, who happens to be my neighbor.
Aw.
Now he's my friend.
Oh, like all creative people, you live in Brooklyn.
I
all right,
know.
I want to talk to you about my favorite Flake cartoon of the year, because I know Emily Flake. I get to see them on Facebook, but they're also at the New Yorker. So we're looking at two galley slaves who are rowing, and one says to the other, "You were right, I do feel more productive standing."
Yeah, this was a take on the whole standing desk phenomenon, which I hear is supposed to make you more productive and less fat. Obviously, that's not a big deal in the galley slave world, but, like most cartoons, the gag is you take two things that don't belong together and you kind of squish them together and see if anything funny happens. And what's funnier than galley slaves? So, yeah, that's how that happened.
Does your boss come to you and say, Emily, I want you to do Putin shirtless,
no,
hugging an animal?
No. The editor never really tells us, gives us any topics or anything like that. We basically just sort of come with batches of ideas every week, and we're like, here's what I have for you.
All right, I want to take a look, actually. We're going to take a look at the drinking game. Here we go. We're gonna move forward.
You mean our drinking game?
Our drinking game. We were drinking eggnog. We will get some for you, Emily Flake, I promise.
Better.
I propose a drinking game goes this cartoon. Each time Obama says income inequality, let's swig a glass of Clos de Vougeot Grand Cru 88. This was not your cartoon, but I mean, I feel like there's some topics that lend themselves to going back and back and back again to the well, and this, rich, smug people, is one of them.
Rich, smug people are kind of a New Yorker staple, really, in terms of mining that comic vein. I like this cartoon because I don't know how to pronounce the beverage in it.
Oh, let's do it again. We can do it.
Vougeot Grand Cru? Clos?
Oh, look, you're pretending you're slumming. You know how to do this. And here we go. And this is a cartoon, actually also in the New Yorker, that I feel like this also an endless vein of humor. Here we have Frankenstein, Wolfman, and Aquaman all saying we can't all go as Elsa from Frozen. You have a 2-year-old
Yeah,
girl.
so
this
I can speak to from personal experience. I do have a 2-year-old girl, and that movie already has its hooks deep in her. Yeah.
I was stuck on I was on the New York subway on Halloween, and I was in the subway car literally with multiple Elsa dolls. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
Two other veins I think the New Yorker keeps mining: cats and unhappily married people.
Well, all right. Thank you.
They're rich sources.
Thank you.